Hello, welcome to Card Talk. I'm Brobner89.
I'm Shaka. Today we're going to look at an uncommon action called First or Last. Play, choose one. Purge each creature with the highest power. Purge, I'll emphasize purge each creature with the lowest power. Those are the two choices. Purging creatures is extremely strong in this game, and not many cards do it. And in high-level gameplay, there are few famous decks out there that rely on creating unwinnable situations for you unless you can purge parts of the combo out of the deck. First or Last lets you do that because if you're facing a deck with a Eddy 4x4 that is impossible to kill, or there are a lot of them, they're purged. They're just gone. You have a Primus Unguis with tons and tons of Amber on it, and you can't do anything with the creatures. Oh, you purged it. It has the highest power too, so that's really convenient. You don't even have to do any tricks to make it happen. Standardized Testing is a very good card. That's destroy each creature with the highest and lowest power. This lets you pick the one you want, and it's purge. I think this card is amazing. It will be very hard for it to backfire on you unless you just have some very bad luck, because between the flexibility and the fact that you can play creatures before or after, you can fight with Sanctum creatures to manipulate the power accounts. If you have Untamed in your deck, you can do things to their creatures to raise their power, raise your creatures' powers to make this hit for a lot. This really hurts decks that have multiples of a certain card that kind of rely on that. Like you've just purged all their Infernuses or their 3-power Star Alliance creatures that are like causing a lot of issues. And because they're purged, they're not coming back. And guess what? First or Last is coming back. This card doesn't purge itself. And if you have multiples of these, like this is so strong. I'm a huge fan of this card.
That was actually one of the first things I thought of when I saw this card. Many top decks in the current meta want to recur Infernus and just keep playing it again and again and again. If you can purge them, that's just going to cripple those decks. You know, Infernus kind of sits in the middle power-wise, but if you can manipulate the board properly, that's just extremely powerful in the current meta, especially in a Sanctum deck. I don't think it would be too hard to set up a situation where the 4s are the lowest on the board. You also could imagine this being very powerful against gigantic creature decks, just being able to take care of those creatures. Ugundis, you mentioned, that's great. And then even if they've got their Ludo out, it doesn't matter because you're going to get that Amber because Purge doesn't care about Ludo. So
yeah, destroyed effects will not trigger.
That's right. And that applies to other great destroyed effects as well. Like you could eliminate easily your opponent's Keyfrog and deny them the Forge. And I love the design space that they're introducing here with all these action cards with choices. You've seen a bit of that in previous sets. They're really ramping it up. I think there's at least one of these in every house in Dark Tidings, and I have just been loving it. I think it's so interesting. This card doesn't even need a pip because it's just so flexible that you're going to be able to really take care of so many different situations. Like you could take care of Ugundis, or in a totally different matchup, you could eliminate the Rad Pennies. Just take them out of the rotation. And that's going to totally cripple two very different types of decks.
Yeah, tons of versatility here. I know a lot of my top decks are going to be nervous about this card.
All right, well, that's been our look at First or Last. Come back tomorrow for another look at another card.